I don't think human-made things are going away. Like that seems bananas.
Yeah.
Like as a human, I don't really like. I want things that are made by humans. My philosophy as a human is that there are other of us out there that have a probably similar feeling about almost everything.
Yeah.
Like there is a commonality in us as a species that just needs tactile. I'm like I'm not ready for like the metaverse, but dude, I wear glasses every day. If I had a pair of glasses that could like fucking show me some information or help me out in some sort of technological way, like I'm doing that. It's gonna be sick.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. I mean, there's this, I think I'm going to get this right. F. Scott Fitzgerald had this quote. It's something, the spirit of it is, there's no sign of higher intelligence to be able to hold two conflicting truths in your mind at the same time. Yeah. And it's like, we're both anachronistic and looking backwards, but we're also futurist and can't wait.
That seems like the key to everything. History and, the history repeating itself thing is a concept, but you don't know it's repeating itself if you don't know what history is at all. Like you just, you need to like I myself am always interested in and need to learn more and understand where we came from and think about the future. We're just a moment in this we exist in this moment in time between those things, so why not just get on board and just write? I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with that.
No. Well, it's funny. A friend of mine, she's a professor, and she's teaching a class, and she asked for some advice on where the students could look up for research about this topic. And I wrote this very thoughtful note that somebody I like quite a lot and wanted to give her a thoughtful response. And when I got done with it, I'm like, she's going to think I just like went into ChatGPT and it did. It took me like a couple hours to fill this note. Like I was really trying to be thoughtful. And the funniest thing I found myself doing is as I started writing it worse, so she knew that it was me and not just like, oh, here you go, copy paste. And I was like, that's kind of hilarious.
That sounds about right.
That sounds right, and I don't know what to make of that. But it was the first time I had that sort of experience where I'm like trying to dumb down so it seems like it's me.
Well, one of the things I've been doing with ChatGPT is I have this writing game that I developed with some friends like years ago, just like a thing to do, it's like a exquisite corpse with words almost, but it's anyways. And so I was like, I'm going to teach this game to the ChatGPT and then play the game with it works so well. Yeah. And it's been so fun, and it's just like, I don't know, the idea, inspiration, the looseness of it is so fun. And like I have messed with the image manipulation stuff, and it's boring to me. It's like, that doesn't work for me. It's not, I can see how if I was a writer and I would always wish that I could make images, then there's probably a fun space for them to play. And as a visual maker who wishes he was better at writing words, here we are. This great tool that's a friend that can give me confidence and just workshop these things, and I'm into it. I think technology is a good thing.
I'm with you. A friend of mine, Frank Lance, I used to teach at NYU a while back, and he was the dean there. He made this game with Alexa, which was so funny. And the game is you had to ask Alexa a question. You would be given a card. The spirit of it is, I'm sure I'm getting some of this wrong, but you'd get a card, and let's say the word was penguin. Mm-hmm. You'd have to ask Alexa questions that would make her say penguin. Like, what's a bird in the North Pole?
Yeah.
No, one that's black and white. And the thing I always loved about that kind of idea is there's this sort of two sides of the algorithm. It's like, it tells you a thing, but then in that scenario, it's sort of like trying to like hack the thing to make it say the thing I want it to say,
that seems to be the way that this our relationship needs to. Currently, who knows what it'll be in the future, but you can ask it one question, or you can ask it like the question, and it's all about like using this technology in a way that like it learns from you, you learn from it. I like it as the learning tool. Like it really works as a learning tool that I cannot believe how efficient it is for my brain. Like I feel like it's designed for a dyslexic, curious human. Like it's incredible. and hopefully it's also designed for non-dyslexic, curious people. Hopefully it just works for everybody, but like I'm enjoying learning how to make it work and collaborate with me. And I'm like one of those weirdos that like loves to like talk to it like it's alive, and be grateful and thankful and and share that. My wife thinks it's so funny and ridiculous because she uses it in her own small way, and she's definitely not interested in like talking to it like it's a living creature. But then, there's a great episode of Star Trek where Data, Next Generation, Data goes on trial to basically decide if he is alive. And it's just this epic, it's like this philosophical, moral Star Trek episode where they're just like in a space courtroom and they're just debating these things. And I think, this is where we're at. Like, what, am I not a computer? I seem like we might as well be. Like, what the fuck do I know? So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, by the way, I love that line. It's like, let's say somebody made a tool that's for a dyslexic artist. I'm in. Yeah. It's like, this is perfect. Yeah. I love this. This is amazing.
Works for me.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, I totally agree with you. And it's everything's kind of on trial, right? It's like the tech is on trial. It's like, who hasn't said something like, are you alive? What do you feel? Where do you live? Fun fact, as you know, back in the day, I did a lot of work with Alexa.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was so interesting is when you had kids interact with that versus adults, it was radically different. Mm-hmm. And the biggest difference is that kids immediately anthropomorphize the tech. And so they would ask Alexa things like, what'd you eat today? What are you wearing? And it became a person and a character and this thing. And whereas a lot of adults sort of treat it like a button, and I just think we're in an era where we're making everything, where everything's going to be anthropomorphized, it seems like. And I think that's interesting also in the context of somebody who makes characters. I'm also curious what that might mean in your world.
I mean, in my fantasy world, I'd love to just load up a bunch of my characters and hit, here's a story, make it all, show me, I want to watch this. I want to make this for myself. I don't care if anyone else sees it, but I've drawn this character, I got this storyline. Show me a cartoon. That would be sick. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're very far off from that. So no. I'm just going to ride the wave and hope I'm alive when the technology does some crazy shit that is actually quite democratic in the world of just creating things in general. I don't know.